76 Genji Winston. This is what it means. The weapon no longer automatically fires. Oh, and you must press primary fire to use the ultimate. That's really interesting. You can use normal abilities during Whole Hog without canceling the ultimate? What? And stuns will no longer cancel the ultimate. Oh my. Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we got some big patch notes to the Overwatch 2 beta. Let's get right into it. But if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate having you guys around, and streams are on this YouTube almost every day at 10 or 11 a.m. EST. A lot of Overwatch 2 popping off. Samito Hanzo's back. But first off, Sojourn getting some pretty big buffs. Railgun alt fire. Projectile width increase from 0.05 to 0.1. I'm unsure if this is the actual railgun itself or like the little mini projectiles you shoot. I think this is probably like the railgun itself, like the big powerful shot, because it was very hard to land. So we'll see if this is a pretty big change and a pretty big buff to her. As well as power slide cooldown has been reduced from 7 to 6 seconds. So yeah, the dev comments, we saw a lot of players varying skill levels, struggling to land shots with her alt fire. So we are making the projectile width wider. Yeah, this has to be her railgun. Sojourn is all about mobility. We wanted her to move around the maps more freely. We think this will help increase her effectiveness and make her even more fun to play. So Soldier is going to get a damage nerf from 20 to 18 and a movement speed reduction from 50 to 40% on his sprint. Tactical Visor, however, is now buffed, allowing for critical hits if the shot would have been a crit without it running, and no longer removes damage fall off from his heavy pulse rifle. So basically no fall off on Visor anymore, as well as you can actually hit headshots if they were going to be a headshot anyway. So we believe that Soldier 76 was overturned during the first week of the PvP beta, or overtuned, sorry. He was extremely mobile with new damage passive that increases movement speed by 10%. We brought his sprint ability down a bit with the new passive in mind. Soldier's always been a high damage output hero, but we are seeing fewer counters to him with one less tank per team. We lowered the damage of his heavy pulse rifle to fit with 5v5. We wanted to make a Tactical Visor more interesting ultimate for players who want to push their aim skills through the ability. Good changes all around from the developers here. So, Sombra Stealth movement speed reduced from 65 to 50%. Dev comment, after a week of testing the new damage passive, we decided to balance Sombra Stealth speed with a 10% movement speed increase in mind. So, some compensations for her overall move speed being high from the developers. I think these are all good changes so far. Roadhog Tank. Whole Hog. This ability has been changed from a channeled ultimate, IG Far, Reaper Cassidy, into a transform ultimate, IG 70, Soldier 76, Genji Winston. This is what it means. The weapon no longer automatically fires. Oh, and you must press primary fire to use the ultimate. That's really interesting. You can use normal abilities during Whole Hog without canceling the ultimate? What? And stuns will no longer cancel the ultimate. Oh my. We saw Roadhog underperforming, so we're making his ultimate more interesting, effective, and fun. Roadhog was dying frequently while using Whole Hogs. Oh my god. Oh no. This is gonna be broken. Oh my god. Hog just lost like one of his biggest drop-offs. Holy cow. We'll have to see how this works. That's gonna be nuts. Winston, Tesla Cannon, secondary fire ammo cost reduced from 20 to 12. Dev comment, this change to Winston's secondary fire enables him to use it more often without sacrificing as much of his primary fire. We want his secondary fire to feel less restrictive in use and more fluid like his kit. Okay, good change, sure. Wrecking Ball roll, knockback increased by 36%. We are reverting roll's knockback to the original value when Wrecking Ball was launched. We want to give Ball a more unique role as a dive tank that can split up enemy teams. We made this change with the tank passive of 30% knockback resistance in mind. Okay, sure. Ball needs to be able to make plays. Zarya Graviton Surge duration reduced from 4 to 3.5 seconds. There are less counters to grab and one less tank per team, and the phase effects no longer escaping with Zarya's ultimate. We observe the ultimate overperforming, so this change brings it in line with 5v5 gameplay. Sure. Lucio Crossfade self-healing penalty increased from 30% to 60%. Lucio had incredible survivability with Crossfade stacked with the new support roll passive, so we reduced the amount of heals it heals himself. That's fair. I think these are all very good, smart changes. This might be the best balance patch we've seen from the devs in a long time. BAP. Healing ammo increased from 10 to 13. Sure. BAP is underperforming because both teams aren't playing as grouped up right now. Increasing his healing ammo will let him heal more targets who aren't necessarily grouped up. I think with one less tank in the game, like letting BAP's single target, like I think they should make BAP's like grenade easier to land in general, but make it less AoE because you don't need, like, make BAP more of a single target healer, and I think the game's fine. So I think this is an interesting way of changing it, but I don't think it's bad. I think it does what it needs to do. Ana buffs, biotic rifle ammo increased from 12 to 15, biotic grenade duration reduced from 4 to 3. I think this is fair. This allows Ana to get more DPS value, but biotic grenade was really, really good in the beta so far. ZENYATTA, base shields increased from 150 to 175. New passive added snap kick. The passive increases quick melee damage by 50% and slightly increases its knockback. ZENYATTA has trouble fighting at close range, so he's at a disadvantage if an enemy flanked or jumped on top of him. His new passive, Snap Kick, will help him create space and put enemies at a fighting range. We think this new passive will be a fun adjustment to his kit, but we also want this change to acknowledge community concerns. We understand that 5v5 has made support heroes feel more vulnerable, and we want to give ZENYATTA tools to help create space between him and enemies. The devs are doing a really good job with this. This is solid. Like, the support value, like, they're still going to have to take the duels, but it gives them tools to actually do so. I think the devs are really, really doing a good job with all these patches. Got to give them credit. Brig, Shield Bash, knockback doubled. It's difficult to tell when Brig lands a Shield Bash because the impact of the ability was not easily noticeable. This is a subtle change that will make the ability feel more satisfying. All right, sure, that's fine. And that is going to do it. Wow. I got to say, I got to give the devs credit here. I mean, it looks like, let's recap this real quick. So they're tuning down on Soldier, which what this is going to do is this is going to open up the DPS category way more to way more counter picking, right? This needed to happen. They're making Sojourn a bit easier to use, which I think is okay. I think the community, even myself, like I was struggling to use the hero and compete with Soldier, and God knows what, you know, like if there's like a platinum player, you know, I was 4,400 plus every season on DPS. Like there's no way a platinum player is going to be able to enjoy the new character, right? So I think that this is a really solid change all around the board for the devs. What else am I missing here? Sombra stealth move speed to compensate for the passive. Good. This is going to be the crazy one. Hog, like this is a huge, huge change to Roadhog that I think he probably needs. I'm worried that he's going to be a little good though. I'm unsure because he's going to be an absolute hoss now. An absolute hoss. I'm very nervous about these because now, like, it doesn't seem like the kit has a weak point at all. And if the kit doesn't have a weak point at all, you know, we'll see. I'm curious how this is going to function. This is going to be one of those things where you have to wait and see. But this has definitely raised some red flags for me, without a doubt in my mind, okay? The Winston change, I feel like, is nice. I think this kind of needed to happen. The ball change is nice. I think that also needed to happen. Zarya, I'm unsure about this. But grab is very strong, and there is one less tank in the game, so you probably will be able to kill through it regardless now. The Lucio change probably needed to happen. The BAP change, I don't know if this is the right way to go for BAP. I think maybe making his right click, like, have a faster prog speed, making it more in line with Honest, like, secondary fire to be better. But we'll see about this. I think it's his actual output with one less tank. Because what made BAP so good was farming his window fast off your really tanky tanks in a slow-paced game. And now, with the fast-paced game, it's just hard for him to heal in general. So I don't think increasing the actual ammo when it's landing the heal output, when it's actually landing the shots, as well as, you know, how much those shots individually heal on impact, I'm not sure if that's, like, going to actually fix why BAP is underperforming. But it still is, it might help. This might be the right way to go. I like the Onyx changes, they're good. The Zen changes are really cool too. So yeah, that's the patch for the first week of the beta. I think it looks good overall. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Good job, Blizzard. This is exactly the kind of changes we need to see from the devs. Good job, guys. Click on screen now to check out the previous video. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. See y'all later.